Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Driftless Knitting Podcast. My name is Jennifer. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Driftless Knitter, and you can find the podcast on Ravelry if you search for Driftless Knitting under the Groups tab. This is episode number 65 of my podcast, which feels kind of crazy. We're already almost to 70, I guess halfway there. Yeah, you know what I mean. Almost to 70. This summer has been so busy that, again, it has been 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks since I talked to you the last time. Tonight it's Friday night. It's Friday, July 20th, and it is 8:35 p.m., which is not my usual podcasting time at all. But like I said, this summer has been so busy that I thought I had an evening free here in my apartment, and I thought I would get a podcast recorded. I am unsure if I'm going to be even at home on Monday, which is my day off. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to record, and then another week would go by, and pretty soon, you can so easily and so quickly kind of get out of the podcasting rhythm. I was kind of already feeling that. Today on my way home from work, I was thinking, Seaver's gone tonight he's at his parents' farm tonight, helping out with chores. His dad had to run somewhere, so he's milking cows tonight. And they live about an hour away, so it's not like too far away, and he's done with work for the week. I was thinking about it on my way home, that I could record a podcast if I wanted, and there was a part of me that was like, I don't know, not that I didn't want to do it, but the further out you get from your regular schedule, the more kind of work it feels like. I feel when you're in that rhythm of recording, editing, uploading, especially when you have like full days off that you can do that, it's not as bad. But when your life is sort of not in a regular, kind of schedule, trying to fit it in is tough. So yes, so we are recording on a Friday night. Excuse the possible bags under my eyes, and the sort of side pony that I just threw my hair into. I'm just sort of rolling with it, so hopefully you guys don't mind. I did work today. I also work tomorrow, so I have Sunday and Monday off. Sunday, though, is my nephew's 2nd birthday, so we're going down to where my sister lives, and we're going to be celebrating with them. I do have a couple things to show you that I knit for his birthday, which is really exciting, but I'll show those to you in my sort of FO/HO section, because one of them is almost done. It's that close to being finished, so it's practically a finished object. But yeah, you'll see those. And I do have the sliding door open tonight. As you can tell, this is a different sort of setup than I usually have. I'm usually in our big reclining chair with our kitchen behind me as a backdrop. Tonight, I just sort of felt like snuggling in on the couch. This is where I've been knitting and working on projects for the last hour and a half. I didn't really want to move too much, so I just gathered my things around me. I set my camera or my phone up, and that's why you have a pretty blank wall there in the background. But I do have that's kind of fitting. That's a sign that my mom got me for my birthday or Christmas. I can't remember. I think I picked it out though. It's not a real textile mill sign. It's just one of those kind of recreations that you find at primitive decorative stores that sell furniture and decorations and things that are made to look old. Yeah, so, but it's pretty cool. I like the burlap, and I like the wood frame, and of course it has sheep on it, so what's not to like? And then you can kind of see my stairs right there. But, oh, and this is a Pendleton Blanket. Let's see if I can show you I wasn't really planning on showing this, but it's super cool. Seaver got this for me when he went on vacation to the Grand Canyon, and they went to Arizona and Nevada and maybe a little bit into Utah, like southern Utah, a few years ago when we were still dating, and he brought this back for me. Let's see, it has the Pendleton tag there, and Pendleton is a woolen mill. I'm not exactly sure where they're located. One of you could probably tell me that. You're probably like, duh, it's so famous. I knew of the name Pendleton, but I didn't know where they're located. But it's a woolen mill. They've been open since 1863, which is awesome. And this is based on the traditional style of the Native Americans that are from the area of the Grand Canyon down in Arizona. So yeah, he brought that back for me, and I was kind of like astounded because this could not have been cheap. But he knows how much I love wool and textiles and blankets, and it is definitely warm, but it is so cool. I will hold up a little bit of it here. So yeah, it's just got those really cool native inspired patterns all over it, and yeah, I really love it. So I'm not going to attempt to fold that back up, so we're just going to leave it down there. But yeah, what I started to say was I do have my sliding door open, so there might be a few nighttime noises coming through. I can hear some crickets. I was hearing birds up until recently. The sun is just setting. It's just getting like really dark. There's still a little bit of like that twilight glow. The days are starting to get a little bit shorter. It's about 20 to 9, and yeah, the sun is already pretty well set. So the days of 9 o'clock sunsets are slowly behind us, falling behind us, I should say. And today it was much cooler than it has been in the last like 2 weeks. Right now it is 70 degrees outside, which feels amazing compared to how it has been. So I'm taking advantage of some of that fresh air and hoping that it cools our apartment down a little bit. It can get pretty hot in here, and it stays really hot because we don't have very good airflow. So, but anyway, I'm almost 9 minutes into this podcast, and yeah, I'm just sort of chattering away. It does feel good to be back talking with you today, so I'm really, really glad that I'm squeezing this in, and that I didn't like take the lazy route and just like put it off for another day, because one day turns into 2 weeks. So yeah. Okay, like always, let's get started with works in progress. Now this is going to be I think the knitting content is going to be a little bit short today. The main thing I really wanted to talk to you guys about was the shop hop that I went on last weekend. So I'll kind of quickly go through my knitting projects and then talk about the shop hop and show you guys some of the really fun yarns that I got and other goodies that I got while on that shop hop. So the first work in progress is the Sweet Clover Mystery Knit Along that is being held by Alicia Plummer, and it is a mystery knit along, so if you are interested in it and you don't want it spoiled for you, I guess look away or try not to listen. Really, let's see, I just finished Clue 2 and Clue 3 came out this past week, so I'm a little bit behind, but I'm about to start Clue 3, so I'm not too far. She does give you 2 weeks in between each clue, so you have a little bit of time to catch up. And Clue 2 is kind of short. Clue 3 is a little bit bigger. Clue 1 so far, though, was the biggest like amount of knitting. So it is a shawl, and I'm knitting it out of Knit Circus Yarns Ringmaster, which is our 100% superwash merino worsted weight base. And this colorway is Where the Wild Yarns Are, which is a really beautiful blue, green, different hues of green in there. We have it. Ooh, sorry about the lighting, because it's so late. The lighting is not going to be very good. We have that really nice bright green, and then also that forest green in there. These lighter spots down here are a very kind of light blue color. It's just such a beautiful color. This whole shawl, you'll see my other 2 colors in a second, but this whole shawl like puts me in mind of like a beautiful lake with pine trees, you know, kind of behind it, almost like a cabin in the woods type of a thing. The variegated, Where the Wild Yarns Are, kind of combines all of those colors, and then my two complement colors, so you need 2 additional colors, are this really dark, I wouldn't say it's emerald, it's like a forest green, and then this beautiful, oh, that light, sorry, this is just a really nice light blue. I love that color. This is the one that I knit my wedding shawl out of, which I know I'm not wearing my ring right now. I always take it off to do dishes. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to wearing my wedding ring, my engagement wedding ring, when I'm doing dishes and doing things like that. I mean, I do keep it on for a lot of those things, but especially with water, I don't like water getting underneath it. I don't know, it's must be like a tactile thing. But I always have to take it off when I do dishes, so it's sitting on the counter right now. I forgot to put it back on. But yeah, I knit my wedding shawl out of this, and this colorway is called Cottage by the Sea. It's also Knit Circus Ringmaster, and this one is called, is it Into the Woods? I think it might be Into the Woods. I should know. I should know these colors. I'm pretty sure it is. We have another one that looks pretty similar to this, and it's called I'm Melting. But I'm pretty sure this is Into the Woods. Yes. Yes. I'm like 99.9% confident in that. So, so far I have only used my main color and then a tiny bit of Into the Woods as my first complement color. So the first clue was just knitting the body, pretty much like getting the main part of this done. And then the second clue involved a few eyelets and kind of a garter ridge in there to put that new color in, and then another row of eyelets. So from about here down was clue 2. And then clue 3 is going to have a lace section, which I'm really excited about. And you knit the lace section out of the color, complement color 1, so I'll be knitting it out of this, which will be really, really fun. I'm excited to see how that looks. And I'm excited to see how she's going to incorporate the third color too. I think, so the third clue already came out. I'm assuming that there's going to have to be 5, at least, 5 or 6. Because she kind of warned in the beginning of this that this was a very large shawl, and you need 2 full skeins of your main color, and I still have I haven't even touched the second skein yet, so I still have this. I have 2 pretty much full skeins of the other yarn, and we're already, you know, into clue 3. So I'm thinking that there's going to be at least 5 clues, and I'm really hoping that it incorporates both the complement colors in really cool ways. So yeah, it's been fun to see how that comes together. I did one of her other mystery knit-alongs, although I did it after the fact, and that's called the Dockside Shawl. That was another worsted weight shawl, and I enjoyed knitting that even though it was after, you know, all the clues had come out. It was just really fun to knit, and she does these really cool descriptions of each clue, like what has inspired that. I should grab the pattern. She kind of sets the scene. So she talks about like the breeze blowing across the field, and in the distance you see, you know, a flock of birds fly out of the tall grass, and because this one's all about kind of the prairie and the plants, and because it's called the sweet clover shawl. So it's really cool. She kind of sets the stage, like I said, and gives you a little bit of background as to, I think, I'm assuming what has inspired her to knit this shawl. So that's been really fun. I am housing this shawl in my bird legs bag, I think. This is one of her box bags. I don't believe she necessarily makes this style anymore, but I think she's still in business if you're interested. And I love the farm fabric. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. Whoops. And then I throw it across the room. That's how much I love it. Okay, so work in progress number 2 will look pretty familiar. I also have, it corresponds with a half-finished object, or a half of a pair, as I like to say, because it's a finished object, right? Okay, so this is sock number 2 from the socks I showed you last time. This is one of my newest knitting designs, and it's coming along. I've kind of made slow progress because I haven't had a whole lot of knitting time. Yeah, our nights, I get like maybe 2 nights a week to knit for an hour or so, and it's like killing me a little bit because I want to knit a lot more than that. But I did get a lot of this done when I was in Winona last weekend. I probably got from about here up to here done while staying with my friend Amanda. And yeah, so that was good. But since then, I've only gotten maybe another inch or so knit. So like I said, this is one of my own designs. I will be calling these Afternoons in the Library, and they are inspired by Hermione Granger of the Harry Potter books and movies, as you all know. I said that to someone over the weekend. I was like, Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter books, and I think it was to Amanda, and she's like, I know who Hermione Granger is. I'm like, I know, I don't know. You need to be, I feel like I'm always overly descriptive about things, assuming that I need to be, and I usually don't. But yeah, so that's the second sock. This is the first sock. It is finished, and for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know that I had mixed feelings about this sock. I finished it, I put it on, and I wasn't like 100% thrilled. And let me tell you why. The reason why I wasn't 100% thrilled is the lace pattern kind of stretched out more than I expected it to, especially in the leg. And I know why that is, and I can fix that, but it's because I usually increase a couple of stitches when I go up the calf, even if they're as short as this, which isn't really a whole, it's not very long for the leg of a sock, but my calves get larger quicker. I don't know if quicker than normal, but you know, pretty quick from my ankle up to my calf muscle. So I usually have to increase a couple of stitches as I go up just to make them comfortable, and I didn't do that on this. The reason I didn't is because I decided to try knitting the lace on both sides, the front and the back. And it just doesn't have good stretch. So it was tight in the leg, and I didn't like that. And I didn't like the way it made it look because it was stretching out so much. I didn't have that ease there. I didn't like the way that it looked on my leg. So I kind of posted a photo and I'm like, I don't know about this and what should I do and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people were like, oh no, I love it. You know, keep going or knit the second one. Because I just, at one point I was just like, do I just not knit the second one and totally revamp the whole design? And I got a couple comments saying, like, don't do that. My friend Emily suggested that maybe on the second one, just to see how I liked it better, try knitting the back of the sock just plain. And then if I did that, I would do my increases and see if I liked the lace pattern anymore without it stretching like that. So that's what I'm doing on the second one. I haven't totally given up hope, but if I do decide to go with like that design, I'm just going to rip out the leg of this sock and kind of go down to where I stopped the stockinette on, you know, the top of the heel, and then just knit it the same way. Even though, like, for the pattern purposes, I could release it just having knit the one, or write it up and then, you know, have people knit it and see how it goes, and then release it. But, you know, for wearable, for me, I want to be able to wear these socks, so I want two matching ones, and I want them to be comfortable and actually fit my leg, so I will be most likely ripping this one out. But I love the yarn, and I do really like the pattern. It's so memorizable. I don't even have to look at notes. I didn't even have to look at notes to get it started. On the second sock, I knew what row to start on. I knew where, you know, yeah, it was just totally easy. This yarn is a 75-25 merino nylon blend, sock yarn, of course, from Savvy Skeins, and this is her Storm Chaser colorway. And this lighting is probably gonna blow it out, but really beautiful purples, grays, and periwinkles kind of make up that colorway. I love knitting with it. It's gorgeous. And the pattern, the lace pattern, is pretty cool looking. So I was just bummed. There was that day I finished it and put it on my foot, put it on my leg. I was like, I was gonna start the second sock like that next morning, and I'm just like, meh. I didn't even want to look at it. I didn't want to cast on the toe. I was bummed. And then after a while, I'm just like, you know what? I just got to do it. You know, even if I do have to rip out half of this sock, you know, at least it won't be a total loss. Hopefully I'll like it. I'll like the fit a little bit better, you know, with the stockinette back of the leg. So yeah, I'm also have this in a cow bag. This is from my friend Carolyn. I am not sure if she makes project bags anymore. Her Etsy shop used to be lastinlineshop.etsy.com, but she has a lot of other creative things going on right now, so I'm not sure if she's sewing bags at the moment, but it is adorable and I love it a lot, and it's kind of my very summery bag. I like to carry a sock project in it over the summertime. So yes, so that is my final whip. Next I will show you, well, and I kind of showed you a half object, half of a pair there. But this next project I have finished pretty much all the way. There's a tiny bit more left to do on one of them, and you will see that. It's very insignificant, and it will take me about 10 minutes. So last week, or last time I podcast, I talked about making my nephew the new pattern design by Susan B. Anderson called the Little Dinos. And or Little Dino, she has a couple different variations that you can do on the one pattern. And I got, let's see, how should I, here. Yay! Yay! They're so cute. They're so cute. Okay, sorry, now I'm just gonna play with my dinosaurs all night. Okay, so this is the one I knit first. He is so cute. I knit this out of Cascade 220 Superwash. It's a worsted weight yarn, 100% wool, superwash obviously, and as you can see, it's just like a nice forest green with almost like a tan natural color. It's a little more brown than like a natural wool color, but yeah. So he's cute. He's got his little eyes. I didn't make a mouth. I don't know. I think he's kind of cute without one. I gave him little nostrils though, which isn't in the pattern. The pattern like tells you how to do the eyes and the mouth and all that. But I don't know. I thought he'd be cute with two little nostrils. And then you do these really cool. They almost look like rosettes, kind of. She calls them spider web stitches, spider web circles, something like that. And I had never done anything like this before. I was so skeptical going into it, the way she describes to do it. I'm like, this is supposed to like look like this. There's no way. And then I just did it. I just followed the instructions. I just sort of step by step. And before I knew it, it turned into these cool looking things. And it's more of like a needlepoint technique rather than, you don't knit these. They're not knit at all. You're using your yarn and a needle, and you're making them right on the body. And yeah, I learned something new for sure. I was doing these the night that Seaver, actually, my husband Seaver, I taught him to knit a couple of years ago. And he did it like, actually he got about this much done on, so it was like a swatch about this wide, and he got about this far. And then we moved, and you know, it's almost been a year since we moved, which is insane. But he hadn't picked it up in months and months and months and months and months and months. And I didn't even think that he really remembered, you know, that it was there. But I kind of always left it on the top of one of my yarn stash bins. And I left it on the needles just in case. And the other night he just went up and grabbed it and brought it downstairs. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I thought I could knit with you. And heart melting, yeah, ensued after that. So I sat down next to him and I kind of gave him a couple like refresher pointers, because it was funny. He's like, no, I think I'm good, I remember. And he put the needle with the stitches on it like in the wrong hand, so he put it in his right hand. He had the empty needle in his left hand, and I'm like, oh sweetie, I'm like, you gotta switch those around. I'm like, I think you need a little bit of help. So I just sat next to him and I kind of reminded him how it went, and he did good. He did a few rows and called it good and put it back down. He did pick it up once more since then. That was about a week ago, and did maybe a row, but you know, slowly but surely. He kind of, I think, wants it to turn into like a meditative thing for him, because he gets a little bit of like we all do, a little bit of anxiety and, you know, worrying type thing. So we both like to kind of, sometimes we will just like meditate for like 10 minutes and just kind of try and let all that go, and I think he wants to turn it into something like that. So that would be super cool, and I'm all for it. But I was doing these little guys when he was knitting again. And yeah, it kind of felt cool to learn something new, to do something that I never do, that I have never done, and have it kind of succeed and turn out well. Being an avid knitter, I forget kind of what it feels like to approach something that I've never done before, craft-wise, and something that is something like needlework, or these little techniques that I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know how to do it. I'm just following directions, and that feeling again of learning something, it's really cool. It's really cool. I need to do more of that, I think. But this is the second guy. I started him when did I start him? Not that long ago. It's Friday. I think I knit him on Tuesday. I started the belly on Tuesday. Knit him Wednesday morning and a little bit yesterday, and then tonight I finished the legs, the little legs, which are just putsy. They don't take long, but they're just putsy. Same with these little spikes. It probably took me about an hour to do, an hour and a half to do the 3. I had 1 leg done already tonight, but to do 3 legs and the little circles, it probably took me an hour and a half, which isn't terrible, but still, you don't feel like you're getting a whole lot done because, like, there's not much to show for it, but just the, picking up the stitches and knitting them, and you put a little bit of fluff in these. I'm using 100% wool for the stuffing, natural wool, but you put a little bit of that in the feet, and then you have to close them up, and then you have to weave in your ends, and it gets a little putsy. But yeah, I really like him. I like how whimsical he is with the different colors. So this is more of a blue than it's showing up on camera. It's kind of showing up greenish, but he's definitely more of like a bright, like turquoisey aqua color. And then that gold, I think that's just a really cool contrast. And he does not have any eyes yet, or nostrils or mouth. Maybe he'll get a mouth, I don't know. We'll see. That is the little bit of stitching that I still have to do. So all of the knitting is done. All of the little decorative things are done. He just needs some eyeballs. So I need to do that before Saturday, or before Sunday. So Ronan's birthday is on Sunday. We're going down there, like I said, but I think I should have time either when I finish recording this, depending on what time it is. It's already 9 o'clock. So we'll see if I'm just too tired to do that, or maybe tomorrow I'll find time, or maybe on the car ride down there. I've definitely done that before, where I've knit on things right before I'm going to see somebody. But yeah, those were really fun. And again, that was Susan B. Anderson's Little Dino pattern. She just released that a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I highly recommend it. It's very easy to follow the pattern, and even though a couple of those little pieces are putsy, I mean, anything that small is going to be kind of putsy to do, so yeah. Okay, that's all of the works in progress / finished objects / mostly finished objects. So yeah, let's talk about the shop hop. Okay, so I went up to Winona last Friday, and I was staying with my good friend Amanda. She's also a knitter, and she and I went on the Driftless Loop yarn shop hop, which was the first ever Driftless Loop. It covered 2 shops in southern Minnesota, and then 4 shops in like southwestern Wisconsin, like across the river, and then yeah, down a little bit. I have a picture of the little card that you got when you were doing the shop hop. So I will definitely post that. And I actually took a lot of video too, so I think I'm gonna do a separate vlog, or depending on how long this gets, maybe I'll just tack it on at the end. I don't think it'll be that long, maybe 15 minutes, so we'll see. But yeah, so you can kind of see where all the shops were. It kind of did make this like really great loop. It was about 4 hours of driving total, so they're pretty spaced out. That area, while there are larger towns, it's mostly rural. There's no like big city. La Crosse, Wisconsin is the biggest city that you would go through, and it's still not like that big. There's 2 yarn shops in La Crosse, and then the rest of them were in towns. Oh my gosh, there was a store in Iowa, I forgot to say. Yeah, in Decorah, Iowa. That was, so you went into 3 states. You did Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa, and then like, kind of came back. At least we did. That's the loop that we did. So yeah, a lot of driving, but it was fun. We, you know, had lunch and we got coffee and just chatted, and I tried to do a little bit of knitting, but in the large stretch between Viroqua, Wisconsin, which is where Utopia Yarns is, then you had to drive all the way to Decorah. I know I just said it, but I always want to say Des Moines, which is another city in Iowa, and it's not, yeah, not the right one. And then there's Dubuque and Des Moines and Decorah. We went to Decorah. I tried knitting. It's about an hour and 45 minutes, and I could not. The roads were, there's so many hills, there's so many curves. We were just, I mean, you're just driving through rural county roads, and I got a little bit carsick trying to knit on my socks, so I didn't push it. I put the knitting down, even though I was like, my hands were itching to have it going, but I just couldn't. Even if I tried not looking at it, my stomach was just not gonna have it. So I didn't really do much knitting in the car, but yeah, it was a really good time. So Amanda lives in Winona, Minnesota, which is where I used to live, and we have a really great yarn shop there called Yarnology. We did not start there though. We decided that we would end there just to kind of get going, get an early start, and then kind of end our day there. We thought maybe we'd end up chatting a little bit longer than we like should, because we were trying to, you know, get an early start. So we left. We went and got coffee and a scone. We went to the Blue Heron Coffee House in Winona, Minnesota. I know I've said that a million times, but Winona, I love Winona. Actually, I'm wearing, let's see if I can do this without like pulling my shirt up. This is from the Shakespeare Festival in Winona, and that's a picture of the bluffs just outside Winona. That's called Sugarloaf. It's a big outcropping of sandstone. Yes, they used to do a lot of sandstone mining on top of the bluffs, and then they decided that they didn't want to deplete it as much as they had been, and so this like outcropping got left. They didn't mine that, and so it's called Sugarloaf, and you can see it for miles coming down the river, and yeah, it's just so beautiful. So yes, Winona, still, I love Winona so much. So we went and got breakfast. We kind of did a loop in the farmer's market early Saturday morning, and then we took off for La Crosse, Wisconsin. And our first stop was to Unwound Artisan Yarn Shop, which is the newest yarn shop in La Crosse. It is owned by my friend Kate, and my friend Carolyn, who made the bag, is also kind of a contributor to Unwound. And yeah, they are wonderful people, and it was really great to stop in there and see what they had. They do a lot of indie dyed yarns, hand spun yarns, local. They try and be really conscious of where the yarn is coming from, who is behind it, what company is behind it. They do a lot of work with like little companies. They have a stationery company that they have things in there for, from. They have a soap, like a local soap company. So really, really cute things. And, oh, where'd my bag go? Ah, I dropped it. Sorry. So I got a couple of things at Unwound. The first thing, of course, I was looking at was the yarn. And you guys will recognize this brand because the last time I was at Unwound, this is what I bought as well. Different colorway, but yeah. So I ended up picking up 2 skeins of Dye Monkey yarn in her DK base, which is the Boogie Woogie base. 100% superwash merino, 150 yards of DK. So I really, really love her yarns. I already have a few in my stash. Yeah, I have 2 other skeins of her DK that I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this either. But look at it. Oh my gosh. This is a neutral lover's dream. Those rich browns and tans and a little bit of charcoal gray and cream, and this, okay, the color is beautiful, but the name totally sold me. Newspaper and coffee. That is pretty fitting, huh? So I bought 2 because that's all that they had. I would have probably bought 3 if they had a 3rd one, because there are some pretty large DK weight shawls that I want to knit. But I think I'll be able to find one that is knit in 500 yards. If you guys have suggestions, let me know. I want like maybe a fun textured shawl. Or I could just design one. Maybe. I have never designed a DK weight shawl before. That would be kind of fun. And then it'd be special, something special to knit with my special shop hop yarn. Maybe I'll do that. Sorry, I'm like adjusting myself. I like to sit cross-legged on the couch, but then like my knees start to hurt. My feet don't go numb, but it's like, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so that's my 2 skeins of Dye Monkey yarn. I absolutely love them. I grabbed them off the wall, their pegboard wall, and just like walked around with them like shoved against my face. Just like, oh, so pretty. So I knew those had to come home with me. And then when we were up at the counter, I saw this. Actually, I'd seen this walking in, but then I saw it again at the counter, and I just had to buy it because I am now a Wisconsinite. So it says craft Wisconsinably instead of like drink responsibly, because beer is big in Wisconsin, as is cheese and cows. And I'm not even like being cute, like it's true. cheese is big. Yes, so this is from One Sock Wonder Bags, accessories for the funky fiber artist. And this is her card. Very cute. I like her little logo, and it's really colorful on the back, which is fun. So it's, yeah, onesockwonderbags.etsy.com, and you can find her on Instagram. Cute. So that is what I got at La Crosse, and well, that's what I got at Unwound. We went to, oh, and they were giving away, so each shop was giving away like a little door prize, and I don't have, I think it's in my bag, but they were giving away a little needle gauge from Retromantic Fripperies, and it was a little yarn ball. They do like wood, what is it called? when it's like cut into the wood, laser cutting. You know what I mean? Wood burning? Wood burning. Yes, wood burning. So they do wood burned accessories, and it was a little, like probably about that big yarn ball with the holes cut out for your needles, and on the back it said unwound, so it had their logo on it. So yeah, that's what I got there. And next we went to Fitting Knit yarn shop, also in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I did not end up buying anything there, and their little door prize was a little bag of candy, or like chocolates, so that was really nice. And Fitting Knit is a bit of an older shop, I would say, and not to sound too yarn snobbish, but they have some, I'm trying to think how to say this, they have some older yarns and some like lesser quality yarns, I would say, and that I totally understand that is like, that is the core, that we do need those yarns in the industry, is what I'm trying to say. And I have a bunch of those yarns up in my stash, and I've used those yarns before, but a lot of acrylic, a lot of like acrylic wool blends, a lot of kind of baby yarns, you know, kind of like you would see at Michael's and Hobby Lobby and things like that. So I didn't have a project for that, and there wasn't anything that I really that really jumped out at me, so I did not get anything there. But we after that we did go to Viroqua, which is about 45 minutes away from La Crosse. Really, really cute town. I wish we could have spent more time in Viroqua. It was so cute. And I've been there plenty of times before. Excuse me, I have two eyelashes that are trying to stick together. Whew. I could just, like, you know when you can see that like clump? I think, okay. I'm trying to glue my eye shut. Okay, I'm better now. Yeah, so Viroqua is a super cute town. Utopia is an amazing yarn shop. She also goes to pretty much all of the fiber festivals. She was at Maryland. She's going to Rhinebeck. She goes to even the smaller ones. I don't know if she goes to the Vogues. She might. She does like everything. She's going to be at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. She always goes up to the Minnesota Shepherd's Harvest in Lake Elmo, Minnesota every year. Sorry about that. My phone decided it had no storage left. So, I forget what I was saying. Probably Viroqua. Oh, Utopia. Yeah, she goes to all the shows. She has a mill as well as her yarn shop, and they do a lot of their own milled yarns, and she has a whole line of Utopia yarns that she hand dyes. So we went there, and they were having a sale on all of their in-house yarns, so the Utopia brand, and I could not pass that up. I fell in love with her BFL BFF yarn. So this is 100% BFL. It's this really springy 2-ply yarn. It's a DK weight, or like a sport. I think it's a sport DK. And I love this. I don't believe it's superwash. I think it's just, yeah, I don't believe it's superwash, which I really like, actually. I want to knit with more natural wools, so I thought this was a great choice. It was funny because I kept being drawn to this color. I saw it in a couple different weights, and saw it then in the BFL and decided I needed it. So this is called Superior, and I got 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I can do this. 4 skeins. So 4 skeins of this is enough, I think, to make a pullover. I'm really hoping. There's a couple sweaters that I thought about making, and I'm just a tiny bit shy with yardage. but there's another one. I found a couple others that I think I'll be okay, because I have just over 1,000 yards with this, and if I had to, I would make a sweater with like 3/4 length sleeves. I'm not opposed to that. I like 3/4 length sleeves, so yeah, I could do that. Oh, I just love that color, and it's like a sagey green. That's probably, it's coming up pretty close on camera. So that's the yarn I got. I could have bought so much yarn there. I'm really looking forward though to seeing them at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, because I will be going to that in September in Jefferson, Wisconsin. They always have a booth, and I have a feeling I'm going to come away with a little bit more yarn from them. And then at checkout, I was so excited to see that they had tucked woolens. I've never seen this in person. I've seen it online. I've seen it on podcasts. I've never seen it in person. So, oh my gosh, it's making this whole like couch smell amazing. I looked for their chai spice, which everyone talks about, but they didn't have it, and I think they only dye that in the fall and winter. They only make that in the fall and winter. So they had more of their like spring summer scents, and so I got the honey lavender. It's so good. It is so good. I'm so excited to use this. So excited. So yeah, that was, I kind of had a moment where it was almost kind of like a fangirl moment. Like, oh, tucked woolens, oh my gosh. Yeah. So that was my purchase there. And then they, for a little door prize, they gave us these cute little tins. It has their logo on it, and Utopia, and their website, I think. Yep. Yeah, go online, look at their yarns. They're gorgeous. So gorgeous. And there's just a few little ring stitch markers in here, which I am excited to use because I don't have enough. Oh no, did I just dent that? I don't know my own strength. Okay, I can pull it back. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah, so little stitch markers from them, and that was super cute. And then from Viroqua, we drove the like hour and a half to hour 45 minutes to Decorah to Blue Heron Yarnery, or Blue Heron Knittery Yarnery, I think, in Decorah, Iowa. Beautiful, beautiful route all through the hills and the Driftless region. I mean, one of the most beautiful countrysides. Yeah, you guys, yeah, it's just gorgeous. There's a reason why I have named myself the Driftless Knitter. I love the Driftless area, and I think anybody who comes here would fall in love with it. It's just incredibly gorgeous. But I don't know where that's from. I did not buy anything at the Blue Heron Knittery, not Yarnery, Blue Heron Knittery, but we did all get their door prize, which is this cute notebook, and it snaps, and it has a pen in there and some, oh, that's where it's from. These all came out. It's like, where did those Post-its come from? Okay. Try and stick those back in there. So it has these little Post-its, perfect for knitting, for keeping track of things, and for maybe jotting down some ideas. So yeah, that was super, super cool. If you're in the Decorah area, definitely stop there. The shop is beautiful. Again, I just didn't find anything that I needed, and I think they were a little bit low from the day before. We went on the second day of the shop hop, so I think some of their like special yarns that they had brought in from like indie dyers and stuff, I think those had kind of been sold. I mean, they weren't sold out, but I think a lot of them had been sold. So yeah, let's see, that would be the fourth shop that we went to. So the fifth shop was called Just Stitch It, and that was in Caledonia, Minnesota. So we went back across the river and drove back into Minnesota, and this is more of a fabric shop. and it is a gorgeous fabric shop. It's out in the country, so if you are interested in going and you live kind of in the area, or you're traveling, you know, kind of along the Mississippi or something, Caledonia is a cute little town, and Just Stitch It is kind of out in the country a bit. It's on the side of the owner's home, and they have some really, really cute fabrics. Amanda and I were just like looking through all the fabrics, just wishing that we were sewists and that we knew what we were doing with that. But yeah, I was like, I could buy fabric, but then it would just sit in my apartment because I don't know what to do with it. So I didn't do that. But we also got a little gift from them, and they had some bags made up in this fabric too. So I think this is one that they had custom printed, and it's Just Stitch It, and it has the Minnesota license plate, which is super cute. And Just Stitch It, Mish, I think Mish Upholstery, I think that might be their last name. Okay, had to delete a little bit more. Let's get you fixed there. Okay, let's finish this out. All right, so yes, we got this at Just Stitch It, super cute. And then after Just Stitch It, we went back to Winona and stopped at Yarnology. And now we missed the door prize at Yarnology, but part of the door prize were these cute little Post-it notes, and so they had extra of these, so they gave us some of these. And it was so good to see them again. I didn't nearly get enough time to sit and chat and catch up. I missed those ladies dearly. But got to walk around. They asked us a lot of questions about the shop hop, how it went, what we liked, what we didn't, those sort of things. I think they're kind of gauging for next year. And yeah, I did pick out, I didn't get any yarn, but I had to get this for my collection. So this is lane number 4. Now you guys are probably thinking, didn't the 5th one just come out? And you'd be right. I have the 5th one, but they were out of the 4th one when I went the last time because it had been a little while and they couldn't like get them back in stock. I know that's been a big thing lately, that they've been able to like restock everybody with the earlier issues, and so they got number 4 back in stock. And yeah, I got to get my copy and complete my collection. And there are, oh my gosh, I mean, you guys have heard so many people gush, and I've gushed about the previous episodes, issues, and the 5th one. I guess that's the later issue, but it's just as good as the others, and I can't wait to maybe do a few projects out of this one and actually just look through it and read it. Like, I haven't really had time since last weekend to do that, so I'm looking forward to that. And the other thing, I did come away with something else from Yarnology, but I did not buy this. So we put our names in for their prizes. They were drawing like other extra prizes, and my name got picked while I was standing there. They were starting to draw the names out of the little bucket, and my name came out. So I actually won, oh my gosh, I won 3 skeins of Twig from Shibui Yarns in their cobalt colorway. This is like a linen, I don't know if it's 100, oh, it's linen, recycled silk, and wool. So that is gorgeous. And then to go with it is a skein of Lunar in the cobalt, which is a extra fine merino and mulberry silk. Oh, excuse me, not cobalt, it's blueprint. Blueprint is the colorway. And this is a lace weight. And you are supposed to kind of do a project with them together. And the pattern that came with it is this scarf. So scarf wrap type thing called Crete. They call it a scarf, but I think it'd be wide enough to be like an actual wrap. Yeah, so that was super cool. I never win anything, and I was like so excited, so happy. So overall, it was a blast, and yeah, I will definitely include some of those videos. And I'm gonna sign off before it can kick me off again, because it's been Yeah, I've been having to keep going back and deleting things off my phone. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new viewers, I have been getting some new subscribers, so welcome to the channel. I hope that you liked what you saw today, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. To those of you who have come back time and again, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, and I'm so glad that I had the chance to sit down and talk to you guys a little bit. It's good to be back. So I will hopefully get another podcast recorded in a week or two, and until then, do things that make your heart happy. I will do the same, and I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye. Surprise, I'm back. Quick little addition to the podcast. I just realized after I finished recording that I didn't talk about the Driftless Knitter Cal. So I'm hosting a knit along right now with all of my patterns. Go to Ravelry, search for Driftless Knitter or Jennifer Sue. That is my the name that I design under. And yeah, you can find my patterns. Go to the Ravelry group. If you search for Driftless Knitting, you'll find the podcast group. And participate, post pictures of the projects you're working on. Finished objects will get you an entry, and you will be winning a really cool prize, I think. So I saw my friend Lisa over the weekend of Abacus Dye Works, and she gave me a very special skein of yarn to give to you guys as a prize. Look at that. This is called H2O. It's an 80/20 sock blend, and I am in love with it, and I'm so jealous of whoever wins this because I wanted to keep this for myself. But yes, you'll be winning this skein of yarn. I'm also going to, actually, I think I have it right here. Oh, duh. Sorry, I'm not editing this, so you're just gonna have to see my awkwardness. You're also gonna get this adorable project bag. Look at those sheepies. I am not sure who, I'll do a little research and see who this is by, but it is a pretty good size. You can get like a hat, a small shawl, pair of socks in there. With the pattern and everything. So you'll be getting the skein of yarn and the bag and maybe some other little goodies that I'll throw in. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Head over to the Ravelry group and participate. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.